Yo! So recently, I've been thinking about one particular man from Naruto. Pause. And I've been thinking, bro should have really been home the next morning after he decided to leave the village. But I really gotta break it down for those who just really don't understand. Sasuke, after being aura-diffed by Naruto, bro sat under a tree and was thinking, man, I just let some yellow-haired kid take all of my aura just like that. Then out of nowhere, the Sound 4 appeared and tried to convince Sasuke to sign the 360 deal from hell. And Sasuke's just left there thinking. But before he can think too much, Kakashi pulls up out of nowhere to try to give him a piece of advice. And it surprisingly got through to him. Sasuke then proceeded to sit under that tree for the entire day. And bro, I think this is some sort of psychological thing. I feel like had dude not stayed under that tree, he would have been solid. But of course, without these events, Naruto Shippuden would have never been a thing. So now we're here. But now it's nighttime and Sasuke's still chilling. The Kimimaro disciples pull up on Sasuke 4 deep. But at this point in time, Sasuke wasn't a complete fraud. He was putting in work before Kimimaro freaky ass said, "I got this!" Kimimaro popped some sort of sound ninjutsu and sent Sasuke flying. But Sasuke gets back up and hits bro with the Lion's Barrage. And honestly, this video really should have been titled, "Why Sasuke is Such a Tickle Monster." But he just proceeded to do 0 damage. Or at least that's what it seems like, because why are they just eating everything he throws at them? But both of them end up popping mode and Sasuke just can't keep up. So Kimimaro basically ends up telling bro, if you stay here, you ain't getting nowhere as a ninja. So sign this 360 deal or else. So Sasuke getting aura-dipped by Naruto and spanked by only one member of the Sound 4, bro says, "I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man." But of course, he ain't finna leave gracefully. Sakura steps in and begs bro not to leave. But Sasuke wasn't trying to hear all that. And yo, Sakura has to be one of the worst anime characters ever. Just listen to this.
Don't do this, Sasuke. You don't have to be alone. You told me that day how painful a thing solitude can be. I understand that pain now. I have a family and friends. But if you were gone, Sasuke, it would be the same thing for me as being all alone.
Sasuke then knocked her out and straight up left the village with Kimimaro disciples signing that 360 deal. Sakura woke up that next morning immediately telling Lady Tsunade what the business was, and Tsunade called in Shikamaru for his very first mission. And this is essentially where my argument begins. Tsunade tells Shikamaru there are no other available Jonin or Chunin available, so he needs to find a group of ninja capable enough to help retrieve Sasuke. Peep how I said capable enough. But he had no choice but to draft Kiba to the team, because apparently everybody else was gone. If I was Shikamaru, I'd be sick. Which reminded me, y'all remember when it was time for recess and everybody started playing basketball and it was time for teams to be picked? I'm telling you, if I was Shikamaru, Kiba would be the very last person on my mind. But the rest of the squad consisted of Neji, Choji, and of course, Naruto. Now on paper, this is not a bad group of individuals. But all I'm saying is, had Lee or Shino been healthy, as the title says, Sasuke should have been home for breakfast the next morning. And I'm standing on that.
arm against 50, nigga. Which one do that?
But regardless, Shikamaru was locked in, coming up with tactics and formations like he was 23-24 Pep Guardiola, and now they were ready to save Mr. Fraudscape Uchiha himself. But of course, Sakura pulls up out of nowhere and asks if she can help, but Shikamaru was quick to shut it down.
Fuck no, baby.
Then she started crying and said,
Bring Sasuke back to me. I did everything I could.
After that foolishness, the squad finally heads out, but miles away from the village, Sasuke and the Sound 4 are still traveling to get to Kimimaro. But they pause for a bit before they continue, and they ask Sasuke to take these weird-looking pills. Pause for a minute. I know this is a slander/retrospective type of it, but I low-key feel for Sasuke. Dude is basically a teenager, forced into the life of a ninja, and he's being coerced into taking mystery pills because he's being brainwashed. Is what I would have said if I actually cared. If Buddy wasn't so weak-minded and stayed back at the village and dedicated himself to getting stronger, Naruto would have been left in the dust. But anyways, Sasuke pops them yerks.
I knew the perk was fake, but I still ate it. Because I'm a gremlin. Rah!
Then the Sound 4 put Sasuke in a sealed container so he can basically undergo metamorphosis. In the middle of their pursuit, the squad ends up seeing the first unit of ninja who were sent to retrieve Sasuke, and we end up seeing a random ninja and my guy Gemma. And man, did they catch some serious belt. But it ended up being more of a positive for the squad, which sounds crazy, but hear me out. Neji pops his Byakugan and ends up finding the disciples resting after putting Sasuke in that sealed container. But before they jump in, Shikamaru talks game plan. And hey, we all know Shikamaru is a genius, so he can't miss. Shikamaru and Neji act like they got lured in by an exploding kunai with strings attached to them. Then when they jump, the rest of the squad gets dragged in with them. Kiba doing something of value for once. There was a smoke bomb which actually distracts Didemaru's disciples. But Didemaru's disciples aren't Didemaru's disciples for no reason now, man. They strategized before this and had kunais placed before, which caught Shikamaru off guard, making him release the shadow possession jutsu. And the squad ends up getting caught in a jutsu which eats away at their chakra to reinforce the wall. Kiba then of course puts on display why he's the biggest fraud of all time. He tries spamming Fang over Fang, which doesn't work.
This nigga is trash.
But Choji ends up being the saver by rolling himself up into a ball and charging at the wall to get them out. But as they get out, Kiba charges at Jirobo and tries using Fang over Fang again just to be put face down, butt poking to the sun.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
So Choji steps up and decides it's time. Big man versus big man. Now, I'm not going to show the fights to preserve the argument of the video, but basically what happened was Choji was getting cooked, he popped a red perk, and then started moving crazy, which in my opinion was one of the best fights in OG Naruto. But anyways, the rest of the squad ended up moving onward without Choji, and they ended up running into the guy with a whole bunch of arms. And the squad tries to jump him, but again, the Sound 4 are no casuals. These are Jonin level rogue ninja that they are dealing with here. He stops everything the squad throws at him and almost came close to putting Naruto 6 inches deep in the ground, but Neji locked in. Then the squad takes a second and Neji realizes that his ability involves imbuing chakra into his webs, basically meaning no normal attacks will ever work on this guy. So Neji is technically the only person here really qualified enough to handle bro. So they leave Neji and he basically had his work cut out for him. Bro almost lost his life, but he got the job done and even hit bro with a dramatic finish. So Naruto, Kiba, and Shikamaru are left. They catch up to Sasuke and 2 other Sound members. And the squad strategically jumps at Sakon, but of course the pencil sharpener fails to hit Sakon. But you won't believe that this was a hezi and Kiba was actually aiming at the container Sasuke was in whole time. Shikamaru traps Red Hair and Kiba takes the container Sasuke was in, and everyone was actually doing their part. But don't get your hopes up yet. Akumaru ends up getting trapped, and of course a dog is a man's best friend, so Kiba goes to get bro. This leads to Sakon and Kiba diving into a ravine because of the paper bombs previously placed. Now the battle seems to be a bit in the squad's favor. Everything seems good, right? Psych a lot! The Sound 4 are actually the Sound 5. Kimimaro pulls up gracefully snatching Sasuke back.
Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Fuck, nigga, I stole that shit.
Now, low-key, Kimimaro killed their chances at getting Sasuke back. Now with Kimimaro in the picture, that makes 5 Sound Ninja versus 3 Genin and 1 Chunin. Kimimaro was truly the needle mover, which is why had Shino or Lee been healthy, this fraud would have been in Leaf custody with ease. Naruto leaves Shikamaru behind and chases after Kimimaro, who has Sasuke with him, and they end up in a luscious green field. We now have 3 different fights going on at one time, so let's obviously get the worst fight out of the way. Kiba versus Sakon. Kiba spams Fang over Fang a trillion times per usual. Obviously, Sakon, not being born yesterday, sees right through this, and Kiba, being the fraud he is, gets absolutely nut tapped. And I'm not gonna lie, this arguably has to be the worst individual performance on a mission from someone in all of anime. Like, bro really put up the Tony Snell / Keon Ellis stat line in a 1v1 fight. Back in the forest, Shikamaru ends up starting a fight with the red hair shorty. And you know Shikamaru, man, he always has that plan in his back pocket. Bro ended up baiting and switching her while trying to hold on for dear life. Back at the open green field, Naruto's getting fried by Kimimaro. And it didn't matter how many shadow clones Naruto had summoned, Kimimaro was unfazed by all of them. But mid-fight, Sasuke wakes up from his metamorphosis. Naruto, smiling from ear to ear, yells at Sasuke, telling him it's time for us to go home. But Sasuke completely egos him and runs off. And because Naruto got distracted, Kimimaro almost knocks Naruto's head off clean. But the Shonen called Naruto for no reason now. Rock Lee pulls up and allows Naruto to go after Sasuke. And Lee begins throwing hands with Kimimaro. And in my opinion, I think this is another good fight OG Naruto blessed us with. But in the middle of the fight, Rock Lee pauses to take some medicine my guy said quote unquote was good for him. The whole time, buddy was drinking that green stuff. And then he started throwing hands crazy. But Shikamaru and Kiba are still on the verge of death until the Sand Ninja pull up. And let's just say they put the business on the last remaining Sound Ninja. And if you've watched Naruto, you basically know what happens next. Naruto catches up to Sasuke at the final valley. They fight, and obviously Naruto loses. And for me, it's like, dog, I understand that Village is on high alert after the events of the training exam, but I'm telling you, any ninja that wasn't completely butt booty could have helped them out. And where were the Stone and Cloud villages at? Did they not get the drop that the Leaf was on life support or something? But anyways, that's just my 2 cents, man. Y'all stay blessed. I'm out.